Hi. If you asked me what I was doing with my life, I would answer with one simple word. Coasters. Alright, enough of that. Hello again, it's me, Eric. I'm a nerd who builds things, and sometimes I build nerdy things. At the time of filming, it was December, and I thought to myself, what could I make for free that no one asked for and probably did not want? A political podcast? Moments of meaningfulness and love? No. How about some recycled lumber? Bear with me. In a previous video, where I had made a greenhouse pergola from scratch, I also had to take down an existing pergola, one that was built a little like doo-doo. I'm not one to throw away potentially useful wood, but damn, I sure would like this tripping hazard off of my garage's floor. And if I know anything about woodworking, it's how to make unused trash wood look pretty. After processing these 12-foot 2x6s, I'm left with a sizable pile of gross pine wood. As you can see, there's some solid wood grain in there. Looking at this pile of wood is a little bit daunting though, so I decided to build a crosscut sled. This should be simple. 2 squared off pieces of particle board, 2 slides, and some wood glue and brad nails. Oh. Apparently, wood glue penetrates parchment paper. Noted. Okay. Of the various chores I had planned this morning, this was not on that list. Good as new. Now I can process the pine wood for metal. Or not. Let's see if this $40 metal detector works instead. I'm having a rough morning. Now that I think I've gotten rid of all of the metal, I'll take them to my jointer. This will 90-degree 2 sides. Then, throw them through the planer. This will give me 3 square sides. And lastly, trim all the boards to equal width on my table saw. These boards are now completely square. Thank you. That took 4 hours. But wait, they have all those holes in them. Don't we all? Don't worry, I still think you're cool, even with all your holes. The holes, how many times can I say holes, in this lumber are from wooden dowels. And yes, they are a problem, but I'm not going to address them quite yet. I'll be taking all of my lumber onto the table saw and using my crosscut sled for the first time. The goal in this first pass is to remove all angled edges. Now, I'm going to split every single board in half. I've gone over how to do this in previous videos, but I'll quickly go over it again. This isn't anywhere near as dangerous as it looks, well, with the proper technique that is. With that being said, I would like to give some tips on how to process lumber this way. Tip number 1. To ensure accurate cuts, keep the same side of the board touching the fence. This will help account for the blade's curve. Tip number 2. Use a new blade or sharpen your blade before trying this, and make sure it's at a 90-degree angle. Tip number 3. The board that you're cutting must be previously squared. This method is super dangerous if your boards aren't squared. Tip number 4. Make sure the surface of your table saw is freshly waxed. Tip number 5. Never force your board through the blade. ever. If it's not going through, turn your table saw off, re-wax your surfaces, or change your blade. Tip number 6. Apply pressure at a 90-degree angle. This means applying pressure from the top of the board downwards and applying pressure towards the fence. And finally, tip number 7. Keep both wrists angled upwards away from the blade. Raising the blade with each pass, you should end up with something like this. I've effectively doubled my materials. I'm going to run them through the planer once more. This will ensure each board has the same thickness, giving me the ability to batch out identical coasters. Now I have to start using my brain. Everything up till this point was autopilot. I don't want huge coasters, but I also don't want small coasters. I want whoever I'm gifting these coasters to be able to use whatever sized glass, mug, or tankard that they want. I think 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches should do, so I'm just going to glue down a stop block to my sled at that measurement. Do you want to guess how many coasters this is going to make? Go on. Don't be shy. 182. Yep, 182. After a quick quality control check, I was left with about 160 coasters. I can't wait to sand all of these. I put a lot of thought into how I want to do my condensation rings. I'm going to route 2 grooves, one on each parallel side. The idea being to allow for any sized glass to rest on the coaster, without tipping in either direction or spilling. I feared that with a full condensation ring, it may limit the type of drinking receptacle allowed on its surface. To actually route the coaster grooves, I glued down 2 stop blocks on each side of the groove, and then I simply pressed down against the fence and moved it side to side, then repeating it on the parallel side. You know, it's nice when your project starts looking like what you envisioned. Now it's time to pick an edging for these coasters. Of course, I'm not going to leave them as square blocks. So boring. I want a unique bevel to my coasters. I also want something that will help reduce warp, as I'm not putting a hard finish on these coasters. I ended up settling on a Roman OG bit, which is traditionally used for baseboards. To do this safely, I double taped a spare coaster on top of my workpiece and set off for the races. There I go. Gotta do this 160 times. That definitely did not take the entire day. I've never seen a coaster like this before, and only 3 of them exploded. Now, it's time for the worst part. Sanding. And then more sanding. I'm going to start off with 220 grit on an orbital sander. These projects are small, so this should go pretty quickly. To make this brain dead easy, I'm going to glue down some MDF strips to entrap the coasters. This is one of the benefits to making identical batches. Wow, I sure hope the people who receive these coasters for free appreciate all of my effort. I don't think I can do this anymore. This is the same day that I routed the coasters. And I've been sanding for 4 hours. You thought I was done sanding. No. Now I have to sand by hand. But don't worry, I only did this for 7 hours. You know what they say, you're not a woodworker until you've sanded your fingerprints off. Now I can get away with petty crimes. What are they gonna do? I'm the man without fingerprints. I have never seen pine wood this smooth in person before. Is it weird that I want to eat it? Same day, same problem. There's sawdust everywhere. With a microfiber cloth and some water, I need to wipe off all these coasters. Thankfully, the routed grooves in Roman OG beveling should make these coasters near warp-proof. I'll leave them to dry overnight. And here we are, the next morning. None of my coasters have warped. If you're exhausted watching me, imagine how I feel. You were probably wondering if I stained the coasters from the intro. And, yes and no. I'm actually going to finish these coasters with Danish oil that just so happens to have varnish inside of it. I really don't like that glossy look to wood finishes. This is simply my preference. I'll be applying 2 coats total to the entire coaster, which means 1 coat, wait, flip, 1 coat, wait, flip, 1 coat, wait, and flip, and then 1 coat, and wait, and then flip. This process took 2 days. And finally, I'm done. I just have to wait 2 full weeks before this Danish oil is cured. But look at this result. Completely smooth, beautiful, waterproof coasters. These came out way better than I expected. Going out of your way to recycle wood that most people would just throw in the trash, well, it does something for me. Those trees didn't ask to be cut down, and I feel sometimes they don't really get the proper use or respect they deserve. So I'm glad that this project was successful, and that this wood didn't end up in a landfill to rot away. Anyways, that's it. If you liked this content, subscribe so I can continue to make stuff. And here's my current character stats.